Good morning. This is Dylan Jovine from Behind the Markets. Happy Friday. So first of all, let me start off by apologizing that some of you guys could not actually, the link yesterday to yesterday's video it was private. It wasn't shown to many of you guys, and we heard from you. And, I apologize for that. Like I said already, this is the first week that we were doing this. And, when I was younger and a mistake like that happened, I would go bonkers. I mean, I would, lose my cool completely. But as I've gotten a little bit older and a little bit calmer, I think, one of the things that I try to keep in mind is we're doing this for the first time. There are going to be mistakes the first week or two. It's like putting on a Broadway play. Sometimes, we're learning our lines. We're learning how to run this kind of offense with our business. So, again, I just want to apologize for that. Be patient with us. We're working on it. Progress, not perfection. We're getting there. Now, the other thing, today, it's Friday. We're heading into the next weekend is July 4th. Thursday is next weekend is July 4th weekend. And I got to tell you, I've been thinking about our country. I've been thinking about America a lot. And, this Boeing story I've been following a lot, just the decline of this great American company. It's just, I don't know why it just drives me freaking crazy. Now we're reading that 2 U.S. astronauts are stuck in space because of Boeing Starliner problems. I mean, my goodness, talk about the decline of a great, great company. So that's been driving me crazy. And there's a lot of reasons Boeing declined. Basically, you could trace it back to the McDonnell Douglas acquisition. Basically, the people from the McDonnell Douglas side of the deal ended up taking power, pushing out great CEOs like Alan Mulally, who actually went to Ford and was such a good CEO. Ford was the only company that didn't declare bankruptcy during the 2008-2009 financial crisis. That's how good he is. Anyway, so they lost out on great CEOs like Alan Mulally and these McDonnell Douglas guys who had this McDonnell Douglas culture of cut costs, cut costs, cut costs. They've been running the show for the past 20 years. And, Boeing made this crazy mistake. I mean, they thought they could be like Nike. Now, when you think of Nike, what does Nike do? Most people say they make shoes. They think they make shoes. Nike doesn't make any shoes. Nike designs and markets shoes. But the shoes are made from companies and factories in China. But Nike don't make shoes anymore. Boeing thought that they could turn into Nike, that they could design and market airplanes. But, airplanes are a heck of a lot different than shoes. Much, much different. I mean, the rubber on a shoe falls off and all of a sudden you have a bad day. You got to run and fix that. But, the rubber on an airplane falls off, you're at 30,000 feet and it's an incredibly bad day. It's funny. One of the things that has occurred to me just watching Boeing decline so much from, really a great American company to, what it is today. One of the things I've been thinking about is the flip side to that coin. I was reading Elon Musk's biography, from Walter Isaacson recently. I just finished it. We all know about the Tesla stuff, and that's really, really cool. But I found the most interesting part of that was what he did with SpaceX. And I didn't know this before. The space industry used to be basically for decades was a cost plus industry, meaning that the Pentagon would give you a contract to send something into space. And, if it cost you $1 billion, the Pentagon would say, okay, we'll agree to pay this cost plus 10% for profit. We call it cost plus. So they pay $1 billion plus 10% on top of that for profit. Elon Musk's great innovation and perhaps the most important contribution to American society wasn't EVs. It was actually changing that relationship with the military and the private sector. Elon Musk said, forget cost plus. That doesn't incentivize me to do anything good. Only pay me if I actually get rockets into space. Pay me a bonus. Don't pay me anything unless I achieve the mission. That has been terrific. It has completely transformed the private sector's relationship with the government. And it sparked a tidal wave of innovation. It's also, a bunch of different companies have started to work with the Pentagon on similar bases. And, we cover a lot of these special companies in our War Games report. When we talk about that, we actually just added a new one. And I guess that was the big takeaway. On the one hand, we have the decline of Boeing. which is just sad to watch, really. It's, I don't know why this one hits me a little bit more than the decline of another company. But on the other hand, you have the rise of these other great rocket companies and weapons companies that, are just really, starting to fill the gap. And we owe a lot of that to Elon Musk, frankly. It's one of the things I learned in this book, which completely surprised me because, you think of Elon Musk, you think of Tesla and a little bit Starlink. But what is the Starlink thing? He revolutionized basically how we send rockets and things to the moon. He revolutionized basically the agreement that contractors have with the Pentagon and opened it up to a whole bunch of small little companies that actually did the same. And now we have all these great little mini Elon Musks. People you don't even hear about it in the papers, but they're creating a bunch of these great little companies that are really driving our innovation to the next level. And, again, a bunch of those are in our War Games special report. Anyway, I hope you have a great weekend. I am signing off.